Let's go take a little look here. All right. Hello and good day. My name is Chris Palmer with ChrisPalmerMarketing.com. And in today's video, what I would like to walk you through is local SEO website architecture. If you have a business that has multiple locations or multiple services, and you would like one of the best ways to go ahead and architect your website. So how I'm going to lay it out for you is going to be describing it in the sense of pertaining to, say, a lawyer's website, a personal injury law firm. All right. So what we're going to say is we have a personal injury law firm. And the reason why I'm going to use them is because it's fresh on my head. And the second thing is because there's multiple services and there can be multiple locations. So that's exactly how we're going to do it today. All right. So first and foremost, what we need to decide, all right, us as business owners, is first and foremost, we need to decide, well, what are the top level services? And I talk to a lot of personal injury law firms. They're pretty set with what they want to do. But where this will come in could potentially be for you. You know, I talked to a lot of other business owners where, let's say they're doing pest control. Hey, Chris, should I be putting up pages for wasps and bees and termites? And, what I want you to ask yourself as a business owner is what is the most profitable for you and your business? And secondly, which particular types of services do you provide the most frequent? So it's either we want it to be massively impactful as far as profit, or we want something that's going to consistently and persistently be showing up, right? Like, what can we turn over a lot? So it's not always in your best interest to target every single service. And let me tell you why, all right, before we start laying out the architecture. The reason why is because, one, if I have multiple locations, okay, if I say I have 20 locations that I want to target, there's 20 cities. These particular cities have a boatload of people. There's high population, it's high residential area. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal for my business. I wanted to make sure, here, let's bring this in here. I don't know what's going on with this, but we're going to get to the bottom of it. And if I have to fix this, I will. Now, I don't know if this is buffering for you guys, but I see it messing up on my side, and you can help me out. I'm not sure if it's within the settings because of the camera or if it's because I'm not streaming at a high enough rate. So you guys tell me if it's buffering real fast, because I don't want to do the whole thing and then it's stopping for you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to torture you guys, all right? So you tell me if it's buffering a lot, if it's stalling a lot, if it looks bad, if it looks good. Because what I do not want is for it to be terribly low quality. And it looks pretty good to me. All right, so I'm sorry to stop. I digress. We have a little widget here and it's yelling at me. I'm terribly sorry for interrupting my train of thought. More to you than I am to myself, but I don't want there to be any problems in understanding, because I don't want to have to run back through this again. And I'm sure you would like the same thing. Right, so here's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and turn this down, because oftentimes if I turn down the bit rate, it'll flow a lot smoother. All right, now I hope that you can see this. We're going to come back in. All right, now where were we? Okay, I'll start at the top. We'll make this a little bit more concise. The long story short of it is this, all right? The problem when we're targeting a boatload of different services along with multiple locations is that if I have a lot of services and I'm targeting a lot of locations, I need to make pages for all of that, right? If I have 20 locations and then I want to, on top of that, I have 10 main services, dude, that's tons of pages that we have to create. And then what? We want to take shortcuts. We don't want to have to create 100% unique. We want just it to be geo-modified, right? We want to change out our headers. We want to change out our images. And what starts to happen is we're starting to dilute the overall website, you see? And then what's Google do? Well, if we're targeting cities or towns that are too close to each other, we'll be on page 4, right? So what I want to get to, what I really want to hammer home here is be very, very, very selective on the services that we're going to target and the locations we want to target them in, okay? Let's go ahead and zoom this out. This looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and get back here like this. All right, and let's talk about this. So now that we're both on the same page, all right, you and I hope are both on the same page as far as multiple services, multiple locations. I'm going to draw this out, or I'm going to overstand this with you in a sense of the fashion of I'm going to talk about personal injury and different services that pertain to personal injury. But if you're a pest control, if you're doing locksmiths, if you're a nurse, it doesn't matter. All right, change the words out, the services, for something that pertains to you. I assure you that Google doesn't care, right? The structure is the structure. The main objective here is we want our top level pages to be most dominant and most prominent. And then we'll start talking about our location information. And if you want to look at it as a pillar page, if you want to call it a topical cluster page, if you want to call it the top level category page, a category page, it doesn't matter. Call it whatever you want, all right? We're talking about the first, once you have your website, okay, .com, this page right here is going to be the top level page, all right? We'll discuss a small little glossary here. This is the top level page, all right? When we start talking about service pages or primary services, what I'm talking about, or primary service pages, are your primary services. Secondary services, I should make another video on this because you need to make that decision. Because I talked to a personal injury law firm literally 4 days ago, we'll say. I forget what day it was, right? But they have 20 main practice areas, okay? And then they're like, well, you know, we do bicycle injury, and we had a case for ATVs, and we had a case for train derailment, right? It's up to you as the business owner. Do you want it to be a top level, or is it, or get it off the site? You know, like, are we going to target this and try to win, or what's the point, right? All right, enough about that. Let's keep going here. So let's talk about the architecture now. Now that we're both on the same page as far as glossary is concerned, when we're talking about a top level page right off of the root, we're going to make this our top level service page, all right? Location pages are going to be completely separate, all right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to make out our architecture. What I want to draw for you first and foremost, okay, this right here is your head navigation. This is called the header, all right? The header. I'm a visual thinker. What do they say? 80% of people are. So I think we're on the same page when I'm going to go ahead and draw things out. What we're going to talk about here is personal injury. But whether you want it to be a drop down or you want it to be main navigation where it's going to be like this in little boxes, okay? However you want to visualize it in your own mind, do that, all right? But what we're going to do is we're going to make the main navigation. And when we're making our main head navigation, what I want to see in our main navigation is going to be our primary services. So let's just say that we do personal injury. All right, injury. All right, this could be a drop down. You do truck. You do train. Okay? You do what? What do you want to do? How many things do you want to do? And again, this could pertain to you as a pest control. What do you do? What, you do mosquitoes? Check. What do? You do ants? Great. You do, or what else? Chiropractor. Okay, we do sciatica. We do, I forget some of them, right? But you get the point here, right? It doesn't matter how many services there are. It's completely irrelevant. But what we want to make sure of is that we have in our main header, okay? We want to make sure that in our main head, whether it's in a drop-down or it's listed inside of the main head navigation, we want to make sure that we have our top-level terms. Well, why, Chris? Because that's what the site's about. right? We in the head, and then we're going to repeat it in the footer. This is what the main site is about. Our entire website is built on this. So I don't want to see, oh, we call it this or we call it that. No, no, no. This is where the search volume is. This is what people are searching for. And this is what it is nationally and internationally known as. We want to utilize and implement the keywords that are going to be the most powerful for our businesses, right? They're going to be the most efficient. They're going to be the most lead generating possible, all right? Don't make up your own names. We want it to be front and center, what we do, who we are, what we do, and where we're at, right? Right. Okay. So again, for this particular business example, we're going to have multiple services. One of them is going to be truck accident lawyer. Okay? Truck accident. Another one will be personal injury. Okay? Another one could be what? What's another poppin' one? Car accident. Car accident lawyer. Okay? So here we have 3 services. All right, I'm just laying this out. What I want to see, whether it's inside of a mega menu or it's blasted across, is going to be the primary search phrases. Now, I get this a lot. Should I use the exact keyword? Should I make an abbreviation? Should I make it out? This is up to you. The cosmetic appeal is Google does not care what it looks like. I assure you. Now, your customers, on the other hand, they might. And the boss or whoever you're working with or yourself, you might care. Google doesn't care. What Google wants to see is primary keywords, okay? Or the primary, depending on which camp you're in, right? Whatever thinkers you're listening to, the main topic, the top level, right? I hear all different types of things. Primary keyword needs to go in the top. Google, they can't magically decide what your website's about. They have to see it, okay, my friends? Okay. Truck, personal, car, all right? Now, this particular business wants to target multiple locations, all right? Now, when we're talking about multiple locations, we have 3 primary services, all right? We're going to talk about the way it structures out as far as the silo is concerned and the URL structure, all right? But first, we want to start laying out, well, where do they operate at, okay? Well, this is our top-level page. Pretend this is a page, okay? When I'm discussing this, pretend these are pages. On these top-level pages, all right? And what I mean by top level is this, all right? So remember, car accident lawyer, personal injury lawyer, truck accident lawyer. You're with me? Yes? Okay, great. So what we're going to do here is we have our website. Here, let's just call it lawfirm.com, okay? / truck accident lawyer. All right? Don't mind my handwriting. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. All right? I might even chew. I apologize for that too. I might even take a drink. Okay? I apologize for all of that. Okay? For those who leave me wonderful comments in the section, I truly apologize. I do. I really do. Lawfirm.com / truck accident lawyer. All right, my friends. Darren, what's up, Darren? Good to see you, brother. So lawfirm.com / truck accident lawyer. Now, when we're looking at this, this is where the structure is going to go. When we start talking about other locations, let's say that this particular, now you get that structure, right? Top level page is going to be the actual keyword that we want to target. Truck accident, personal injury, car. Okay. Now, when we start talking about this, these are our top levels. And what I mean by that is this is a directional, this can be a directional page. What SEMrush calls it is a navigational page. All right. Now, yes, if we rank for truck accident lawyer nationally, hooray for us, right? That's not the objective. The objective, though, is that we want to make a massive amount of internal links that we can start flowing up, all right? And back down, of course. That's the goal. And we need somewhere to house it. It can't be super messy and we can't have orphan pages, you know? So how I like to do it is I like to set the top level page to be the primary keyword, or in this instance, primary service, all right? On this page, let's pretend this is our page. We have our main navigation, all right? These are our 3 main services. Up in our main navigation, we're going to be talking about our truck, our personal injury, and then of course our car. All right. In our footer, we'll have our privacy, our terms, our meet the team, our compliancy policy. We might even have our testimonials. We'll have, but our top level pages are going to be internally linked in the footer too. That's right, site-wide. Of course they are. These are the most important pages. We need to get the most amount of internal links pointing to these pages. I assure you that this is the objective. We need to scream from the rooftops that, hey, Google, these pages are our most important. What ends up happening when we have multiple locations or multiple services in the main header and then again in the footer and again on all the pages, what people will do is they'll have the home, they'll write home, not sure why, but I see it. They'll also have an image that's a logo, and then down in the footer, they'll do it again. You might even have done it, right? So now, site-wide, I have 4 links pointing back to the homepage. And then on top of that, what we'll do is we'll go out and we'll build press releases. We'll build primary links, citations. We'll build directories, Web 2.0s, all pointing to where? The homepage. So now we have 4 internal links site-wide on every flipping page, and we've built all of our most authoritative links to the homepage. Gee, I wonder why the homepage is always ranking and not our primary service pages, right? We have to make sure that Google understands that these are our most important. And we do this through structure and website architecture, okay? Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry for getting off track. I just want to cover this fully, right? We're here together. Okay, I'm doing this for you. I get asked this pretty consistently, so I want to explain it thoroughly. This handwriting is pathetic. I can't have it up here like this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my time. I won't be in a rush, okay? I get excited, and I'm sorry for that too. Sometimes I talk too fast. I apologize for that as well. But I get excited about this stuff. This stuff has dramatically changed my entire life, and it can change yours too. If you get this stuff right, your business will do better. I promise you that. And if you have enough patience, this is another thing. It doesn't happen quickly. No, it takes time, long times. Listen, we started a site. We went on an entire national site, right? It's in the home space. When you look on SEMrush or Ahrefs, the terms that we were targeting were in the 90s. Okay, now we are page 1 across the entire United States, and then we duplicated 36 more times. I assure you this stuff works. But how long did it take to reach the finish line? It took 8 months before we hit page 1 in every single city. So there's your timeline. All right, if you can get there before 8 months, awesome, great work, right? Your business and your family will be thrilled. But don't rush anything and don't take any shortcuts. Get the structure right, get the content right, get the right links that are in the right network, and you will win if you give it enough patience. All right? All right. Anyway, sorry. So what do? We are truck, accident, lawyers. This is a stream. I could take my time, right? I can do whatever I want. It's the middle of the night, you know? All right. Truck accident lawyer, personal injury lawyer, okay? Car accident lawyer. See, what's odd about these boards that they won't tell you when they're selling them to you is you can't rest your hand here and then write. See, look. Oh, it worked that time. Prove me wrong. But usually you can't. Like when you're fast, no, you have to keep your hand up. It's very awkward. I assure you of that. Anyway, truck, personal, car, great. Which locations do we want to target? Now, I often get into this. Now, you know your business the best, okay? Generally, our rule of thumb, depending on what the business is 10K or better. Now, again, if we're doing personal injury, we're looking for 50K or better. 50,000 or better inside of a state. So which cities inside that state have 50K or more? You can do whatever you want, all right? But let's say that we want to hit these 3 are our big top 3, and then we want to go out there and we want to produce, let's say we want to hit 10 locations and we want to do it in Texas, okay? So we have our top level pages, and then what we want to do here, all right, is we want to, let's just think about this. Let's say we have 10 locations. Okay, I don't know if you could see that or not. I hope that you can. but there's 10 locations that we want to target. Our top level page, what goes on that page? The top level page. And remember, when we started talking about this, it's law.com/primary keyword. So this slash here is personal injury lawyer. Okay. When we're on this page, what should go on this page? Well, some of the primary things that we want to do on this page is we definitely want to get to our other location pages. Now you have multiple options. If you're going to multiple states, okay, we can talk about states at this level. If we're only going to target one state, okay, we can talk about multiple cities at this level. Now you need to determine this within your business. Are we going national? Are we only targeting 3 states? Are we targeting 4 states? Are we only targeting 1 state? Let's talk about both ways. If I'm only going to target 1 state, what I'm going to do at this level here, personal injury lawyer, so it's lawfirm.com/personal injury lawyer, I'm going to optimize that page around the primary state if I'm not going to hit any other states, okay? Now, if I plan on hitting the whole US, okay, or multiple states, what I'm going to do is I'm going to optimize this page around just personal injury lawyer, okay? And what I will do from there is on this page, let's talk about this page. There's going to be some defining things, okay? We're going to have a header, we're going to have a footer, and we're going to have a sidebar, okay? And then, of course, there's content inside of here. Inside of the header, we're going to list out all of our primary top-level services, okay? Personal injury, car accident, truck accident, train accident, medical malpractice, all that good stuff, right? In the footer, we're going to list that too. And then in the sidebar, what are we going to link to? We're going to link to our top cities, okay? We're going to link to our cities from the top level page, all right? But inside of here, we need to have plenty of content in order to make up, because if you do a national search for personal injury lawyer, how big of a page do I need? How many words do I need? What's the density? How many images do I need? Do I need a video? Do I need a table? Do I need a form? Do I need to have an iframe? Do I need to have a list up page? Right? Do I need an unordered list, an ordered list? What do I need on the page? We have to know these things, okay? All right. I think I covered that. Let's keep moving along here. So let's say now what we want to do is we want to hit Austin. We want to hit Houston. We want to hit, man, I don't know them. Here, Texas. Largest cities. Okay. I'm pulling it up. Dallas. Okay. Plano. All right. Let's just Houston. We have Austin, Houston, Dallas, Plano. Great. So what do? Well, it's going to be very simple. If we're going to have our top level page as personal injury lawyer, law.com/personal injury lawyer / where are we going? Austin. Right? This is if we're only doing one city or one state. We're only doing Texas. But what if we were to go out there and start doing multiple other locations? Then what would we do? Well, we'd have our top level page and our first stop here would be the state. Okay? Because we need to make it make sense, right? So with the top level is always going to be primary keyword. We can look at this as national. Next, we're going to start breaking down state. Or you could look at the top level, it's up to you, as you could do this as your flagship location. I personally would go the route of making this just the primary service. So in this case, personal injury lawyer / state / city. Okay? And this is what we're going to do, right? Now, it doesn't matter how many different services we provide. And this is why I always try to get business owners off of the, hey, we want to do 30 different services. Well, it's 30 services times how many locations do you want? And then if we want to do it right, we need to have unique content, unique images. It's going to take forever, right? Okay. I hope you're with me so far on this. I'm not sure if you are, but I hope that you are. What else can I cover here? All right, so we're doing multiple services in multiple locations. We have our main navigation. This is our head navigation. We have truck, personal injury, and car accident lawyer. Wonderful. This is perfect. Now, on our next level, what we want to start doing is we want to start building out our city pages. So again, if we wanted to do Austin, we wanted to do Dallas, and we wanted to do Plano, and let's say Houston, that's what we would do. And then this is just the personal injury. This is our silo for personal injury, okay? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Car, we're going to do the same exact thing. We want to do Austin, Dallas, Plano, and Houston. Okay? It's the same thing over and over and over again. Top level page talks about primary keyword, / we start talking about the locations that we want to service. But what if we want to add a blog, Chris? We want to in on the newest concept that's been around since 1996. We want to start building out a silo or a cluster. We want to start building out on this very old concept. I don't blame you. I would too. Very wise to do so. So what do we do? Well, let's discuss this. All right. And I'm gearing this towards multiple service, multiple locations for, again, law firm, but it could be for anybody. It could be for any service that you provide. Okay. Now, if we want to start talking about a blog, remember, these are our locations. So this would be personal injury lawyer / Austin. This is that first page right here. Okay. You see that? Now, if I want to start talking about a blog at any of these levels, what do we do? Well, at every single level, you can have informational content. And that's a great thing. Let's say we're all the way down here at Houston. Remember, personal injury lawyer / Houston. Now, this is the Houston personal injury lawyer page. Okay? It's in the silo of personal injury. Makes perfect sense, right? Topical authority for personal injury. But we want to start rounding out our silo for personal injury. We're not talking about car accidents. We're talking about personal injury here. Okay? So what can we do? Well, here's what we could do. Let's say that we want to make informational type content based on the who, what, when, why, where, how theory. Okay? Who, what, when, why, where, how. All right? These are the most prominent and prevalent questions that need to be answered. And yes, we can answer them to a degree inside of our content. Right? Say we want to have a facts or there's very high level of question. There's a particular question that needs to be asked on the top level page. That's fine. But we need to be able to address that particular topic fully. Why? Because we need to be perceived as the expert. So we can talk about it. We can mention it on the top level page. But that does not mean that we can't have a page dedicated to, let's just take, for instance, this. Let's say we bring this over here. All right, here. Let's do this. Watch this. So now we're in the truck accident. We're doing Austin, Dallas, Plano, Houston. Okay. Let's say that we want to answer the question, what does a truck accident lawyer do? Okay, very common question. What do they do? But what do they do in Houston? What do they do in Plano? What do they do in Dallas? And what do they do in Austin? See, I get this question a lot. Why can I duplicate the same service in multiple areas, right, down, but I can't duplicate the same informational content that's based on area? Why not? Why not? I'm building out depth. Why can't you? Why can't you? Is the question of what does a truck accident lawyer do Houston not different than what does a truck accident lawyer do in Dallas? It's still a locational based SERP, right? Right? So if we want to build out depth, this is one of the fastest ways to do this. Now, if for some reason we put up a page for personal injury lawyer and we have a takeoff term, What's that mean? You build a page, right? You start ranking for the primary keyword and all of its variations, correct? Right? Right. But what you'll notice is there's some odd terms that are starting to pick up a lot of impressions, and Google is starting to think that my page is about this. You have a couple of options. You can either A, increase the density of that particular odd phrase on the primary page so you rank higher for that term, or if it's very, very, very different, or it's considered a related term, what we can do is we can build out another page, right? Generally, this is going to be a supporting piece of content. And how would we go about doing this? Okay, here's what we do. So I'm going to draw up the structure for you. So we have our law.com. I hope you could see this. / truck. Whoops. Truck. Accident. Lawyer. Okay. / Okay. We're talking about Houston. All right. We want to start building out informational-based content at this level. Houston. We could build, what does a truck accident lawyer do in Houston? Okay? This can be geo-specific informational content that's about truck accident lawyers in Houston. And you see how this structure is? See this URL? Now, this is where people will get confused, and this is another piece I want to hammer home for you. And I hope you're with me. I know I bounce around a lot, but I hope that it should all make sense to you. Let me have a drink. Is this making sense? Is there anything I need to rediscuss? You guys tell me. It's backwards? Is it? Oh, man, because I reset the... Here. Thank you for telling me that. You know what I did? I reset the sizing because for recording it's 3660 or something. But for streaming, I have to use 1920 by 1080. When I reset it, I didn't reset the sizing. I wish I would have saw that. You guys see this so far? Okay. Good, good, good. Hopefully this is making sense. I hope that it is. It says it's paused. Can I ask you a few questions? Go ahead, Kevin. Shoot, my friend. By all means. Mirror. Yeah, I took care of it. Hopefully you guys should be seeing it perfectly now. All right. Ghost Authors, thanks a lot, buddy. I'm glad that you wrote a script for us. I appreciate you very, very, very much. So great. Unordered, yes, all that. Why do this live if you don't read the comments? Well, I was in the middle of thought, Ghost Authors. But I am reading the comments. That's why I was asking. It's buffering a lot. Yeah, it shouldn't be. It says our connection is excellent. All right, so let's see. Do you guys have any questions? "8 months to financial freedom." There you go. I think I just developed dyslexia. It's the Red Bull. Watch it in a mirror. Okay, so I'm glad we took care of that. You guys are in an uproar about that. I'm sorry. Oh, man, I fixed it. I have several good questions and ideas about expired domain names. If I can somehow get a couple of minutes of your time. Well, go ahead. You have my time now, my friend. It's better to do main services, service A, service B, or just main service, main service B. Well, because we're making silos, Robert Falco. Because we're making silos, and remember, authority, expertise, and trust, right? We should be able to build trust by having, okay, we're doing Meet the Team. We have our schemas. We have our RFD. We have, right? The trust factor should be able to be built with time, okay? And then plus all of the external votes that are coming in, all right? We should be able to build the trust. How we should be able to build the expertise, okay, is, well, one of the ways we can build expertise is by depth of concept. Okay. And how I like to build depth of concept with a local business or a business owner like yourself, hopefully, is we have our top level being our primary service. And then we can start building out depth of topic. How? Because we can have top level page being truck accident lawyer / we can talk about our cities, or we could do / talk about state and then city. And then each step, just like I'm building out here, we have law.com, truck accident lawyer / Houston / what does a truck accident lawyer do in Houston, right? We can build out our structure and our depth of concept at every single level. Because I could do truck accident lawyer / Dallas here, and then do who are the top 10 attorneys in Dallas, or why should I hire a truck accident lawyer in Houston or Dallas or Plano or whatever city or town or state that you're in. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. Now, where I run into trouble when I'm talking to clients, hopefully we get this right. So it's law.com. All right. / primary service / location. This could be state or city. And then we start talking about informational based queries. Okay. We're building depth this way. All right. Picture this as our drop down. Picture this up here as your main navigation. This right here is your top level pages. This could be a mega menu. This could be your main menu. You can visualize it and have it laid onto a website any way you want. With CSS and the way websites are, your imagination is your only limitation, all right? So here, let's get rid of this. And let's talk about how are we going to start laying in informational content, Chris, without it being messy, all right? This is a question that I get a lot when we have a local business owner. Again, we're going to stay on topic of personal injury, truck accidents, medical malpractice, but this can pertain to you as a chiropractor, lawyer, doctor. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, okay? When we want to start writing out blogs, all right, or informational-based content, remember, the objective of informational-based content is to build out depth of topic, all right? So sticking with the main concept, we have law.com, okay? Now we're going to talk about truck accident lawyer, okay? Now we want to, let's say we're in Austin, Texas. All right. And then we have our, what does a truck accident lawyer do? Okay. This is our informational content. Picture your main navigation. All right. Here's our main navigation bar. This is our head. Remember, this is repeated again inside of our footer. All right. Now, this could be a mega menu, or you can just list your services. But generally what people will do is they'll have their page like this. They'll have their contact. Then they'll have their phone number up here. Right? And then what they'll do is they'll have their tips. They'll have the about. Right? Here's what they'll usually do. They'll have the about. And then in the drop down of about, you'll have the contact. Or it could be anything you want, right? Testimonials, okay? Then it might have whatever information you want, privacy, compliancy, all that type of jazz, okay? But then over here, we want to list out primary services, okay? You can either have them in boxes here like this, truck accident, car accident, medical malpractice. We could have train accident, right? Or you can just have one and you can make this say practice areas. And then you can have a drop down that would list out each of your services. You can visualize it and have it made any way you want. But how do we put in our informational content so it's not messy? Well, the best thing to do, in my opinion, is we need to have a primary term that's going to be very broad, that encompasses an informational-based query, that's going to encompass a lot of volume, a lot of keywords. Like in this case, it could be law firm tips, lawyer tips, lawyer blog, maybe probably has a lot of volume. I'm not 100% sure. But we need to have a page that's going to be a top level page, just like truck accident lawyer. So what I'm getting at here is this is the main page. This is a blog page. Now, where is it housed? All right. So let's say we made our main navigation. like this. And let's say we had a lawyer tips, okay? What lawyer tips is a drop down to our blog, okay? But if I click on lawyer tips, if this is the page for lawyer tips, there are articles on this page, right? These are going to articles. And what are these articles? This one here is, well, what does a truck accident lawyer do in Houston? What does a truck accident lawyer do in Plano? 10 tips for truck accident lawyers. 14 tips for car accident lawyers. When I click on one of these, it's going to take me to the blog page that's in the structure. Does that make sense to you? Are you with me so far? Does that make sense? Top level pages, lawyer tips. It could be whatever you want. It could be pest control tips. It could be, I don't know, chiropractor tips. It could be hair salon tips. It could be whatever you flippin' want. When I click on an article, it takes me within the silo. And then when I'm on this blog, when I'm inside of the blog, this is where you can really crack the internal linking. Because what is the main objective of having a blog? Right? Because you'll put all that time and all that effort into blog. What are you really trying to do? Let me explain this, okay? What are we trying to do when we have our blog? All right? Let's say that we have this is our blog article. And this is the 10 tips or why hire a Austin truck accident lawyer. Okay? Here's our article, right? This article is probably 12 to 2,400 words. This particular article, who cares about it? But what's awesome about this particular article is that it's in the silo of law.com/truck accident lawyer /Austin / here's my article. All right? Here's the structure. So this right here, truck accident lawyer, this page, pretend this is the page. In the sidebar here, I'm listing out all the cities that I do my truck accident lawyer. If I want to do states, I can in the sidebar list all the states that I'm a truck accident lawyer in, right? When I'm on the actual city pages, I'm listing out the informational articles that I'm doing for Austin. And bam, now I've gotten to this article. Now the amount of internal links pointing up is very, very high. So what can I do? These pages are internally linked very heavily, very, very, very well. When I start building in links to this page from external websites that are DR50 plus, I'm building backlinks here. Okay? Look at all these links. There's links flying everywhere. What's that do? Powers the entire structure. That's what it does. All right? Hope this is making sense. I hope this makes sense to you guys and gals. Let me see. What other questions do you have? Let me see here. Can I do this on a directory? I never did this on a directory before. I'm sure you could. This page does a truck accident lawyer do. Mirror, is that a blog? Yes. What does a truck accident lawyer do? Is a informational piece of content. That is absolutely correct. Will programmatic SEO with this technique be considered duplicated content? Why is duplicated content an issue? Tell me, Kevin Yan, why is duplicated content an issue? Because I can tell you why it's not, right? Here's why it's not, okay? we're talking about local businesses. All right. I'm not selling blenders. I help real businesses make real money for their real families. Okay. But here's why it's not an issue, right? I'm not middleman in blenders here. Okay. I'm trying to get lawyers, chiropractors, whatever business they're in. We need to win, right? But if I'm targeting Austin, Texas, okay, Austin, and over here I'm targeting Plano, okay, these two SERPs, regardless of what's here, are never going to compete for one another, okay? And why is that? Because the overall arching amount of density on this page is going to be geared around Plano. The majority of the overall arching density for this page is going to be around Austin, right? And on top of that, we start backing it up with things like the title, the H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, and body text. Then we have unique images and a unique images and a unique video. So I have a unique video, unique images. I probably have a unique numbered list. And then I have unique heading tags, unique titles. The only thing that could potentially be the same or considered duplicate inside of Tools or inside of Yoast or some kind of junk is that, some of the body text is very, very similar. But the most important things that are on the page, title, H1, all the other H tags, the video, the numbered list, my images, the main headers, the overall arching density of the page is completely different to this page. So it might trigger as duplicate. But these two SERPs will never compete with one another. And if for some reason they do, that means that you have messed up either your internal linking and you've convoluted the internal linking to making Google think that, hey, this Plano page is connected to the Austin page. So your internal linking's been messed up. B, the links from external links coming in that you've built on the same exact sites of where you got links that are pointing to your Austin page. What I mean by this is if I built a backlink from this guest post site and I build it to the Austin page, I can't, if I start building on the same page over to here, they can start to compete with one another, right? Now, what you have to do is if this site is called 10 tips, I can get a link from another page over to the Plano page, but not when you want to start doubling up. That's the only time I've ever got whacked or I've gotten caught is when I'm trying to milk the budget for the month. So I start building double links. So what you can do here is if you're hitting multiple states is we can build one to the Florida page and then we can build one to the Texas page. You could get away with that, but not when they're so close in proximity here. Okay. Maybe this might be too much, but it's just stuff that I've learned over time. Okay. Duplicate content is not against the guidelines, my friend. Kevin, it's not against the guidelines, brother. What's against the guidelines and what's a problem is when I have a page and it's all written out all pretty and I decide, hey, you know what? That's a nice page. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to copy that, John. I'm going to make it mine and I'm going to put my stamp on it and my logo on it and I'm going to put my photos on it. That's a problem, right? I'm not saying I've never done that. Lots of times. But that's against the guidelines. Okay? Again, to hammer that home, internal linking can cause trouble when I'm starting to compete myself, or something else you'll start to see is you'll see something called nesting, right? This is where you've gotten either the internal linking, the external links coming in, or the density on the pages is out of whack. Or somewhere along the line you're internally linked and Google's starting to think, hey, there's something up over here. That's when you start. Usually though, what'll happen is if I have a SERP and I've duplicated the page, this one right here might hit number 7. And then the other page that's very, very similar or something's messed up, this one will be at like 85, right? Now, if this starts taking impression share from this, then this page needs to be either de-optimized or it needs to be eradicated. But generally it's going to be detuned and I'm going to go and figure out what I did wrong. Early on when I was starting, I've made lots of mistakes, but that's what I've narrowed it down to. Right? Like either the internal linking, the external links, or the density or the primary keywords are interacting with each other. All right. All right. Is this a blog without custom writing it? Also, for topical SEO on these money pages, is there a way to max it out? We're playing around. All good, bro. Yeah, I know. Afraid of penalty. I see this blog strategy work firsthand because when I see local biz sites getting outsized traffic, it is always due to blog articles pertaining to a keyword, question, phrase. Well, yeah, dude, there's a big one in the law space, and they'll build out a page, right? Let's say I want to rank this page for here, I'll give it up. It doesn't matter. Let's say I want to do law firm SEO, okay? Big site, right? These guys, they got a few things right, but they're missing a couple pieces, right? It's always 20/20 vision when you're looking on the outside, right? Now, deploying and implementing is a whole other thing. It's 20/20 when you're looking on the outside. Oh, if they would have did this, they would have did that. So you can see the picture really clear. But when you start to deploy, things change, right? Because you start cutting quarters, there's time, there's budget restraints, right? But in any case, they'll build out the page. Say it's law firm SEO or lawyer SEO, okay? And then what they'll do is inside the article, they'll answer the questions: who, what, when, why, where, how, right? And then it'll go to the blog. Very good. If you want to see a good example of this, the name of the site is LawRank. LawRank does it very, very well. I like how they internally link. Their structure's off, but I like how they internally link, and I like the flow of it. You think you're clicking into the same article. You think you're expanding information, but you're not. You're going to an entirely different page. Very nice way to build out topical authority, or whatever you want to call it. All right. Most of the traffic will never lead to conversion since it's a local biz, but there is still benefit to getting the traffic and authority. Correct? Well, exactly. See, that's the double whammy, and this is why we structure the sites the way we do, right? Robert Falco, you have hit the nail on the head. This informational type content, the reason why I highly recommend having let's again say it's law.com. You have your service, okay, primary service here. Then you do your state, okay? Then you do your city, okay? And then each step of the way, like if, say I wanted to do law.com/service, state, the reason why I only generally build informational content at these levels is because it's so far in the structure. And as I go farther in the structure, I'm showing less and less importance. Plus, on top of that, I'm diluting the amount of internal links. We want to remember that the main flow of internal links need to be pointing up to the primary service page. So to answer your question, 1,000,000,000,000 trillion %, the probability of the who, what, when, why, where, how questions actually converting are very minuscule. But what they do is they build out depth of concept and they build expertise as far as Google's eyes are concerned, right? Like who's the guy that's going to win? Like, think about this. Like, if I have service 1, okay? Service 1. I have service 2. Let's just do 2 for now, okay? Service 1 is primary top. Let's just say this is truck accident lawyer, car accident lawyer. Then I have my states. But I don't just have one state. I have 50 states here. So I have state page, state page, state page. And then let's just say in each state, let's just say there's 40 cities that have more than 50,000 people. There could be more, there could be less. But let's say there's 40. Then I have another 40. So that's 50. That's 91 pages just with state and city. And then at each one of these state and city levels, I build out who, what, when, why, where, how questions, the ones that might have volume or the ones that make sense for the particular SERP. Let's just say it's 3 for each. So that's 50 times 3, that's 150. And then this right here is 4, 8, 12 is 120. So now I have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I have 90 pages that are top level pages. And then I have 2, 5, 6, 7. Then I have 270 info pages. Now, who understands the concept more? So now we have 9, 10, 11, 310 pages that are all talking about primary service, right? I have top level primary service pages, state level primary service pages, city level top service pages, and then I have informational content every step of the way. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Because most guys are going out there, and gals, business owners, are going out there and they're building out their website.com / they'll have their top level page, their pillar page. Yeah, it'll be 6,000 words or 5,000 words. And yeah, that'll rank for a lot of keywords. But what's going to rank better? This giant pillar page or these 310 pages where I've expanded the entire depth of concept for every area, for every city, and I've answered every flipping question there is for every state and every city. Who's going to win? I mean, the EPC, the probability of me getting a click is skyrocketed. And the amount of work to achieve this is very, very low. You know? Okay. I think we've hit that. What's the next question? Hey, William, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. Dropping gold. Pay attention. All right. Yeah, penalty would be if you have 2 pages going for the same keyword. That is correct. Now, and then here, let's discuss this together. Okay? Is this still running good? It is. All right. Now let's talk about this. Let's say you're unsure, right? I talked to a gentleman the other day. He's an electrician. And he's like, Chris, I want to build a page. In fact, Chris, I want to build multiple pages in order to determine what would be the best. Now, and I'm sure you've noticed this yourself as a business owner. Let's say, okay? Let's say there's personal injury, lawyer. There's lawyers. There's attorney and attorneys. Okay? Each of these have really good volume, but which one of these should we actually target? Like, which one of these should go inside of the title, the H1, and which one should be repeated to the highest density inside of the body copy, right? This was a question that I got from a business owner. He was actually an electrician in a pretty big city. I think it was Toronto, one of these places, right? It was in Canada. I forget the city. I think it was Toronto. High competition niche, high competition area, of course. That's the only people that ever call me. But with that being said, he wanted to build out a page for each thing, all right? He wanted to build it for lawyer, lawyers, attorney, and attorneys. And I said, nah, brother, here's what we should do. What I would recommend that you do is build out one pillar page or one piece of content that's going to match SERP, okay? And what you want to do is you want to find the word count on the highest end and the word count on the lowest end in the top 10. And whatever that difference is, that's how high you can go. Whatever that difference is. Like if the highest word count is 2,500 and the lowest is 1,000, okay? That difference is 1.5K. So what you can do is if you want to go slightly above, all right, you know that the difference between these, the highest and the lowest that Google's is rewarding is 1.5 thousand. So if you want to be a big winner and do extra work and do extra work in order to get more benefit, you know that the range is 1.5K, right? So what you can do is, okay, top winner is 2.5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build a 3,500 word article. I'm going to build out a 3,500 word article that's going to encompass lawyer, lawyers, attorney, and attorneys. Okay? And what you're going to notice when you put up a page, and I'm sure you've noticed this as a business owner, you can put up a page and you can optimize it, but all of a sudden you start getting impressions and you start getting a lot of visibility for a particular keyword or a variation or a particular phrase. That phrase and that variation is what Google thinks that page is about. Okay? So the best opportunity then is once we've developed our page that's already above the deviation, like we're already within range. We know the range is, okay, we can go up 1.5K total. We build an extra 1,000. We have our 3.5 words. We built in all of this into our density, but we put the page up and we figure out that, well, attorney is what Google is rewarding us the best for. This is what we retune the entire page for, not the URL, but the title, the H1s, and all of the H2, the H1, the H2s, and the metadata. That's what we're going to gear this page around, and I guarantee you this page takes off. I guarantee it. All right, I'm just getting into tips now. Do you have any questions at all about this? Or if there's anything that you feel I did not explain properly to your satisfaction, please tell me now, because I want to make sure that it makes sense for you, because this will dramatically impact your business. Okay, getting the structure right. The key here is getting the amount of internal links to the top level pages right. Okay, because we want to get the votes. We want to set it up. We have website, right? We have our site.com. Okay, this is the page right here. We want the amount of internal links going to this page to be heavy. We want to scream from the rooftops, or it could be this next page. It could be a particular city you're targeting. If that's the case, great. Then, okay, we want the internal links to be pointing at this page very dramatically. And then we're going to start reinforcing it. And how we reinforce it is with external backlinks coming in that are within the link graph. And let me explain this to you, getting into the link graph. Okay? This is the creme. Okay? This is the creme. All right? Let's say we're looking at a SERP. Every single SERP is different. Okay? Yes, I have a law firm. Okay? Let's say it's law firm. All right? Let's say we have a law firm. Okay? And this law firm wants to compete for truck accident lawyer. They want to compete for car, and they want to compete for medical malpractice. Each of these SERPs are separate. Okay? Now, when you throw a geo modifier on there, those SERPs are separate. Whether I'm going for national or I'm going for geo-specific, these SERPs are completely different. In order to get into the link graph for that particular SERP, we need to get the links that are in the same category. This is where when I talk to business owners, there's a small confusion. I don't need to get the same links. I need to get the links that are in the same link graph. And what I mean by this is when I'm looking at this SERP here, okay, I have the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, 1 through 100. Okay? These 1 through 100 set the link graph. Now, you can utilize tools like Ahrefs, Majestic, or SEMrush in order to get a visual representation or get a written description of what category is most prominent for the winners inside of your SERP. Okay? It doesn't matter who you use. All right? SEMrush has it, Ahrefs has it, and so does Majestic. Majestic makes it very visual. SEMrush is trying to do the same thing. All right? But when you're looking at the links, it's going to tell you the most prominent categories that those links are in. Is it telecom? Is it arts? Is it regional Europe? Right? Is it commercial? Right? It's going to tell you the links that are in the most common categories of the primary winners for your top level term. Those are the links that are going to drive the needle to the most. Now, I'm not saying that I can't go out there and buy a DR80, all right, from some crazy website It has 1.5 referring domains, 1.5 thousand referring domains. I'm not saying I can't build these and get a ranking increase. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is if I get a link that's a DR20, all right, and it's on category of the winners, I guarantee you I get faster movement from this than I will this. Okay? I assure you of that. All right? All right. But is there anything that I missed? Is there something that isn't making sense? If you translate content into another language, would it be considered duplicate? No. No, it will not be. My good friend Kyle, no, maybe it was Clint. It was one of these guys, right? One of these guys I definitely respect and enjoy their content. You know, they inspired me to make my own group. We've been running our own group now for 2.5 years. I was wildly inspired by Clint and Kyle's work within SIA. I started my own testing group, right? And then Ted started his own with Internet Marketing Gold. They have their own testing group, right? It was, oh, we need to get to the bottom of these answers, right? I initially saw that particular test, what you're asking about, hey, if I take this content and put it into a different language, can I utilize this? Is it considered duplicate? And the answer is no. If I take content and I take that content and then I were to translate that content into, say, Spanish or any language you want, no, it's not considered duplicate. Not if it was on your site initially and then you translate it into another language. Now, do I think you're going to have an exceptionally easy time ranking that content? Probably not. There's probably a lot of discrepancies within the translation that I've ran into this trouble before where it's not quite right, and Google will pick up on that. But as far as it being duplicate or getting penalized or dinged for it, I have yet to get in trouble for that. But I ran that test myself. I never had any issues. Robert, is there any drawback if you use a main service page under the home page with a menu of all services linking to the individual service pages? Well, that's the purpose of the top level page. Is there any drawback if you have a main service page? So yes. So this is where you will start to have trouble. Okay. If you're doing multiple location, multiple services, and I see this a lot, you know, you have your main navigation, right? And then what they'll do is they'll write home, services, locations, right? This is what you're talking about. And then when I click on services, it lists out each of the services. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do this, when I click on this service, it's still going to take me to website.com, so site.com/service, okay? But at no time should you have it like this. Like, you could do it that way just for navigation. I don't know why you would when you have the ability to do it the proper way, in my opinion. But if I have a website, so site.com/services, and then all my services are listed there. When I click on an actual service, I go to site.com/ let's say truck lawyer. Like, you could do that, but at no time should it ever be site.com/ services/ truck lawyer. Like, that is not wise. It's like, why would this page be more important than this page? But this right here, that little piece that we just did, like where they're encompassing services in the truck, everything's here. All the internal links are pointing here. I see this so often. We need to make sure that our primary services are our primary pages. This is so important for you guys. Okay? Anything else that I need to clarify for you guys and gals? Thank you for that donation too. I appreciate that. I really do. All right. All right. All right. Is that it for today? Okay. That's all the questions you guys have? Not a problem at all. I'll go back up here. Alert, alert, need to mirror video. I fixed the video for you, Robert. Omit is buffering. We took care of that. There should be a tool. Ghost authors, if you have a question related, ghost author, you're funny. If you have a question related to websites, go ahead and shoot, bro. Why do this live? Dallas. Chat GPT can find Pixabay. He's in the zone. Good stuff. I have several good questions and ideas about expired domains name if I can somehow get a couple minutes. It's better to do main service, service A, service B, or main service, service A, service B. The latter, that's right. No service pages, just get right to it. Yep, that's what I thought. Our service page good in home? Okay, so that's another one. Good point there, Pedro. Okay. So when we're talking about the home page, okay? So Pedro, to answer your question, it is generally not a good idea to have the homepage be about the primary service unless you're a one service, one location business. The main objective of having that homepage is that that's our central base for our brand, okay? Because no matter what business you look at, if it's a local business, the primary volume that comes in for a local business is based on their brand name and brand name variations. The next most prominent keyword volume or the amount of traffic that comes in is going to be for their primary keywords, okay? So when we're building out our websites, we need to have our homepage. This is about brand. The who, the what, the when, the why, and the how. We need to answer these questions. Who, what, when, why, how, and where. Who, what, when, why, where, how. This is what needs to be answered on this top level page. These are also known as entities, right? You can put anything you want on you can call it whatever you want, building out the knowledge graph, right? But these questions are going to be encompassed on the homepage. Here's who we are, here's what we do, here's where we do it, here's when we do it, and here's why we do it, and here's how we do it. Now, here's the services that we provide. Here's our blog, right? Here's the how. Here's our blog, here's where we're located, here's our phone number, here's our email list, here's our contact form. You get the picture here? Homepage is all about brand. All about the brand. The only objective of this homepage is to direct them to answer the who, the what, the when, the why, the how, or the where. That's it. All right? The rest of the page is to then further explain who, what, when, why, where, how. Very important. Okay? All right, so hopefully that answers the question. All good now. Thank you, Chris. My pleasure, John. I'm afraid of penalty. Don't be, my friend, penalties, you have to either be public or wildly outlandish. Like, I had to do some really I had to break every single rule to catch the penalties, okay? Or do it publicly. So if you break the rules or you do it where other people can see, you're probably going to get a penalty. Now, if you're building out location penalties or location pages, okay, Kevin, right? Kevin, I believe it was Kevin. Kevin, if you're building out location pages and you're concerned about a penalty, don't be my friend, please. Don't be concerned. All right. Will lead to conversion since it's a local biz. Hey Chris, one more question. Would this work for e-commerce? Well, of course it's gonna work. The only difference when it comes to e-commerce, and I've only had a couple of experiences so far, all right? My primary focus for myself is lead gen. I mean, we do lead gen, right? And your business is lead gen. You know, like that's my expertise. Okay? It's local SEO. But that doesn't mean I have worked on numerous, four successful campaigns. I've worked on other campaigns, but I've had 4 successes that were pretty large, right? That, pretty big scale, right? Rug company, cold therapy, hosting, and then the last one we were selling, what would you call them? I guess it doesn't matter. But the only thing different here is, or the problem with Shopify, is they'll have the website, okay? And then they'll have the collection, and then they'll have primary. Then they'll have primary. And then when you click on something, it'll go product, and then primary, and then product, right? I believe that's how the structure lays out then. The structuring is wildly different, so the same type of concepts won't apply, but it's just there's a blanket category there called collections, and that kind of stinks. But the answer is yes, it could work. But Shopify makes it wildly difficult for structuring purposes. But I think I answered all of the questions here. Speaking of structuring, this was fresh on my mind. Does this all make sense? Is everybody on the same page here? Are we all good? All right, local website SEO architecture for multiple locations. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick little, it's at 1:17, what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick breakdown here. Or a quick explanation that I'll strip out for the actual video. All right. All right, bear with me. If you have any questions, please go ahead and toss them in there. I'll be happy to answer them for you. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a quick rundown. Are toxic links still a thing? They are to business owners, right? Business owners will drive you crazy with, hey, I saw this report on SEMrush. Like, business owners will drive you completely insane with that. However, it's like you can pull out a large amount of very reputable sites that their backlink profiles would be considered toxic, right? Like Papa John's. I believe Papa John's, unless they've cleaned it up in the last 5 months or 6 months. But there's tons of them, right? Amazon has pretty toxic links. In my opinion, like, a link is a link, and I think that all links are either neutral. They're either neutral, or they're nothing, or they're going to be helpful. They're either nothing, or they're going to help until Google says, hey, those links are bad. like like your comment links and all this, like these redirects and all that, the stuff that's considered black hat or bad, like the probability of that actually hurting you is so highly unlikely. Like Google just overlooks that stuff. You know what I'm saying? The only time I've seen links actually hurt somebody is where they've gone out and somebody has actually gone out and started building DR50 links with 700 plus referring domains. Okay. And then what they'll do is they'll start building links to a target website. And this anchor text will be about, we'll just say dog shows. Or they'll start building anchor text that'll be about ponies. Or maybe they'll start building in stuff that has to do with another name that has nothing to do with the business. And when the overall arching amount of referring domains pointing at the domain are highly irrelevant, what happens is the main page that you're pointing that stuff to tends to de-rank until something like a reshuffle happens. Also, I've seen, well, that's all I want to talk about for that. Okay? I don't want to give anybody any bad ideas or good ideas or anything like that. But building high potency links that are considered high quality to a site with altered anchor text generally is going to make a page underperform. Okay? That's all I want to talk about that. All right, last thing. What we're going to do is we're going to do a quick rundown here of local SEO website architecture when you have multiple locations. All right, we're at 121. What I want to do is I want to do a brief breakdown of multiple location architecture. All right, so my name is Chris Palmer, and in this quick video, what I'd like to share with you is local SEO website architecture when you have multiple locations and multiple services. Now, when I'm explaining this, it will be pertaining to a personal injury lawyer, but you can take out personal injury lawyer and make these particular keywords relevant to yourself. Regardless if you're a chiropractor, a dentist, a lawyer, you could be a pest control, locksmith, any type of business. If you're looking for local business architecture and you're doing multiple locations and multiple services, you still have to make a decision. And what that decision is what are the most profitable and or what are the services that tend to drive the majority of the business. This is where you want to focus the majority of your attention. And this is why. Because regardless of which service pages you provide or service pages that you want to target, we still need to make location-based service pages for each service. So if we decide that there's 20 services, and then we want to target 20 locations, well, we need to make all of those pages, and we could potentially dilute the overall website. So when we're targeting and focusing our energy, we really only want to focus on the services and the locations that are going to be the most profitable for us. Because there's a lot of effort. There's content. There's links. There's a lot of effort. We have to copy paste the content. We have to prune. We have to refresh. There's a lot of work. So be very selective on location and services. With that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to do a brief example with a website called law.com. All right. So the example is going to be law.com. Now I want you to picture or visualize a main navigation bar. Pretend this is your navigation bar. So here you're going to have your contact. And in this contact, you're probably going to have the about us, the info or tips. This could be your blog if you want it to be. But you'll have your privacy, compliancy, terms, meet the team, and whatever other pages that have to do with the business. Alongside of this, what we want to have on top of here is we really want to start naming out our primary services. So for law.com, what we primarily focus on is car accident, personal injury, and truck accident. So we have car accident lawyer, personal injury lawyer, and truck accident lawyer. Let me write out what that will look like as far as a URL structure. So when we're looking at law.com, regardless of which top level page we're talking about, we're going to have / car accident lawyer. Okay, this is what is called, for the basic glossary, a top level category page. This page here is going to be geared around the primary keyword without geo modifiers. So what we'll be talking about here is everything to do with car accident. But please don't forget, we want to take the SERP average as far as word counts, headers, images, videos, lists, unordered lists, and every other piece of content that goes into having a winning page for car accident lawyer. On this page, there's a couple of elements. Now, I want to lay out the page for you so you can completely understand what we're going to be talking about when we're talking about multiple locations. In this instance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out multiple states. So let's picture a page together here, okay? On this page, all right, remember we have our main, we're on car accident lawyer, we have our header, we have a sidebar, and we have a footer, okay? Now, when we're going next in the structure, what we want to talk about is law.com / car accident lawyer / we want to start doing or start working on our Texas silo, okay? Now, on our Texas silo, we want to list out on our page, we want to talk about car accident lawyer, Texas, and in our sidebar here, we're going to internally link to our cities like Austin, Dallas, Houston, Plano, okay? These internal links will point to our Austin, or maybe this could be our Dallas, or perhaps this could be our Plano pages, right? Regardless of what we go with, that is where this is going to point to. This page is geared around car accident lawyer, Texas, all right? This page is geared around car accident lawyer. This is car accident lawyer, Texas. This is car accident lawyer, Houston, all right? So when we're on our state page, we're linking to our city pages in the sidebar. Now, when we're on our city page, all right, when we're on the city page, all right, we still have our header, we still have our footer, we still have our sidebar, but what we're going to link to here is anything that is going to be informational content that's going to talk about Texas or Houston. That is what we want to talk about here in our sidebar. This is our informational content that has to do with Texas and Houston. Generally, the questions that we want to answer at this level are, who is the best lawyer in Houston? Where do I find the best lawyer in Houston? What should I do if I have a car accident in Houston? How much will I get if I get into a car accident in Houston? Where is the best lawyer in Houston? You get it? Who, what, when, why, where. Okay? That's the basic structure of this. I mean, that is the layout. That is the lay of the land. All right? Now, regardless if you decide to have a mega menu or if you just want to have a basic menu, this is completely up to you. I really like to have the option of having a mega menu, and here's the reason why. Because if I have a menu here and I list out, okay, we're a car accident lawyer in Texas, Florida, Pennsylvania, Carolina, Virginia. All right, and we could do the same here. And we could do the same here. What's going to be in each of the pages, and why I like to do it this way, is take a second out of your day, okay? We'll just use this as an example. Go look up truck accident lawyer and go see who the #1 ranker is for truck accident lawyer. Pretty considered a hard term. I think the monthly volume is probably 30 to 50K. But who's the winner, right? Take a look at the code. What's inside the code? What's inside the code? State information. Now, why would that be important? Because regardless of whatever city you're in, when you have repeating state information, state are entities. Highly relevant, no matter what. No matter what. Entities trump primaries in a lot of cases. Just as important as an LSI. So when I have drop downs that are going to be repeating the main states that I'm in, or some of these winners, I think the primary winner right now for this particular term, I'm just using this as an example, truck. If you go in there and you look, you're going to see that the top person is utilizing the states over and over and over and over and over again. And if I did an entity check with my entity tool, I assure you that states are primary entities, the same as names. And you want to know what else? Our entities, people, places, and things. But I think we have nailed this home. As far as the way the structure is, I don't think there's any other questions. I think that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I truly appreciate everyone that took the time to learn with me today. This is local SEO website architecture for multiple location and multiple services. I hope that this was educational and helpful for you and your business. If you need help with anything like this and if you're either a law firm or a real estate investor, give me a call. If there's anything I can help you with, I'd be very happy to help you out. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, I'll give you a few more minutes here. I'll be happy to give you some time. Also, if you're utilizing any type of tools, okay, and you're looking for an affordable solution for mobile proxies, proxypixy.com. This is for 4G mobile rotating proxies, okay? $40 a month, all right? Mobile 4G proxies at proxypixy.com. Also, if you're interested in seeing myself, Chris Palmer, along with Craig Campbell, Steve Toth, Ted Kabitis, one of my favorite guys to listen to, by the way. I love Ted's stuff. I love his tool. If you haven't utilized Quora and you have a deficit, get Quora. It's an amazing tool. I cannot say enough about this tool. I mean, yes, it's an overwhelming amount of data, okay? And yes, I hate spreadsheets. And yet, it doesn't have that polished look. But as far as data is concerned, there's nothing better. I don't have an affiliate code or anything like that. It's just a good tool. I pay full price. So do you. You know, another tool if you're looking for good stuff that I use. So I'm using ProxyPixy for my mobile proxies. This is 4G. These are mobile rotating. I use Quora, Page Optimizer Pro. Another quick shout. All right, I'll give some more stuff here. All right, you're looking to auto blog, cyber SEO. You want to start cranking out content for websites? ZimWriter. All right. You want to make your own models and train them? Raiku plus GPT-3. Not 4, 3. All right. This plus POP equals first page. All right. What else can I help you with? All right. Last but not least, if you would like to see myself, Ted Kabitis, Ruan Moreno. Ruan Moreno's never spoken before, I don't think. Right? Great guy. Love Ruan. Made $1 million. Built a huge agency. He has lots of lessons I'm sure he can teach us. The reason why I love Ruan is he's a guy just like us. Went from laptop to $1 million business. I want to know how. How'd you do it? Right? Ryan Stewart, another one. Right? Like, what can these guys teach me about process? Customer, like, how do you manage a team that large and scale that big and keep your sanity? I need to know these things, right? We'll have the gentleman from CTR Booster. His name's Garrett. Dude, Garrett Acott has so much information, it's mind-blowing. Like, his depth of understanding as far as when we're talking about proxies, communications, CTR, all of the type of stuff that is very useful for more advanced users, Garrett has a great understanding. Speaking of CTR and understanding, there's another gentleman that's come in. His name is Ian Ovens. Now, Ian Ovens owns a tool called Agency Assassin. Okay? I don't know how to spell assassin. Don't, you know. What are we going to do, right? Agency Assassin, what's really cool about this is there are, you know, I can't share any kind of numbers, but there's several hundred users, okay? When you have a gentleman that is watching hundreds of Google business profiles daily, what information can this man bring to us? Right? He sees hundreds of them every single day. Every day on a grid. I've seen it. Ian Ovens. The gentleman, Garrett Acott. We have this woman, right? She's in the law firm space. Her name's Victoria Altman. Processes? You want to nail that stuff down? This lady, she's great. All right? Ian Ovens. Garrett. Ted, what can I say about Ted? Like, dude, this guy's super awesome, right? He was, like, when we were making out our list, no disrespect to anyone else, but when I was making out my list, he was literally one of the first people on my list. It was Ted and Kyle were first on my list. I said, all right, if we're going to do this together, I want my guy Craig, and I want Ted, and I want Kyle. I want to see if I could get Diggity. Diggity said, no way, Jose. I'm not flying all the way out there. I got my own gig going on. I said, all right, that's fair. All right. Holly, she has another engagement. This is August 22nd through the 24th. This is in Las Vegas, right? We're not playing around, right? We're not messing around. This is in Caesar's Palace. All right. This is in the main ballroom. We want to build this to be a very large venue, okay? This is our first year doing it. It's called Digital Unfiltered. Myself, Craig Campbell, Ted Kabitis, Ruan Moreno, Ryan Stewart, Lee Witcher, Garrett Acott, Victoria Altman, Ian Ovens. There's another gentleman. Oh, this guy's really... I know he runs a good, clean business, but as far as the grayer hat stuff, we have this gentleman come in as far as like computer science and gray hat stuff. Like if you get him off to the side, I think he's doing a workshop. I can picture him. I can't recall his last name, so I won't say anything at all. It should be a great show. Just remember this: August 22nd through the 24th. All right. We're going to Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas, for Digital Unfiltered.com. You want a code? You want to save some dough? Here. Here's what I have for you. Palmer 50. That's all I could squeak out of these guys. $50. It's already very, very low cost. All right. Renting out Caesar's Palace is not cheap. Okay. Our main objective, though, is we want to be able to hold a really good show. We want to have very good information without having to do any pitching, right? What I'm going to be sharing is primarily a bunch of tests from the course of 2 years, okay? So if you're interested, I hope that I could see you there. Be able to meet myself, Craig, all the gentlemen, all the boys. I'm working on William. We'll see if we could get him out here. We'll see what's going on. I know he's holding his own event. He's really far away, but he might make it out for the boys. When focusing on one city, will adding the different parts of the city like neighborhoods to the website benefit as well? Okay. Now, this is where you're going to start having trouble, okay? If you're on a website, see, this is a massive problem, okay? So we're on our website, we're on law.com, okay? We're on our main website, law.com. We're doing truck accident lawyer. We're just going to write truck just for sake of argument. Let's say we're doing Texas. And then we're doing Austin. And then we do small town, small area. The problem with this is dilution, and the main problem isn't just dilution. And the problem isn't that we're going to be 4 to 5 to 6 levels deep. That's not the overarching problem. The problem with launching neighborhood pages is this right here. Is if I have my website, here's the biggest issue. This is why we don't do it. This is why I do not recommend it, and I do not do it. If I build out truck accident lawyer, and then I build out Texas, and then I build out Austin, okay? And then I want to do a neighborhood inside of Austin. When I start banging out different neighborhoods inside of Austin, and it's in the same silo as Texas, because it has to be in the same silo, this is where we start having competing SERPs. And when I start having competing SERPs for Austin truck accident lawyer, and then it starts showing me, let's say, number 7, number 9, number 12, number 13. The problem here is that these neighborhoods inside of Austin can be perceived by Google as the same area as Austin. And what Google loves to do, just to torture us, is that they'll say, okay, oh, you're targeting Austin. Great. We're going to pick neighborhood 5 for the Austin term, and we're going to show that number 3. And then all of this stuff, yeah, you know what? It's not relevant. That's what ends up happening. It happens all the time. All the time. Now my a friend of mine, his name's William Jones. He has a channel too, right? A business friend. Right? I mean, well, we've had dinner together too, but it's not like we're staying at each other's homes. But we're business friends. We're SEO friends. We've done plenty of work together, right? Now, he likes to encompass something called the places, okay? Now, this is a good idea if we can keep it sectioned, right? Now, the problem where him and I don't see eye to eye is if I'm building out a page for truck, accident, lawyer, Austin. If I have a density inside of my body text for things like ice cream shop, museum, right? Yes, I'm building local relevance, but the overall density and the co-occurring phrases that start to come in for my website are not hyper-specific around the primary term. And why is that a problem? Because the traffic that's coming into the website is the reward for optimization, okay? So if I'm optimized around truck accident lawyer Austin, and I start getting traffic for that, I want to gain traction for all of the variations and term phrases that have to do with lawyers in Austin. Yes, it's geo-relevant to start having stuff about museums and ice cream shops and bus stops and all this stuff. Yes, it's geo-relevant. And yes, I can gain a lot of momentum in that geo-relevant location. However, it dilutes me from the primary service. And that's an issue. That's an issue. When I'm looking at a page, if it's ranking for 300 keywords, I need those 300 keywords to be wildly, massively dependent upon the primary phrase. There cannot be any other reward for traffic to do with ice cream shops, museums, and bus stops. I just cannot have that on the page. Plus, on top of it, yes, again, it will keep me hyper relevant to the area. And yes, I might start gaining some traffic, but the traffic is going to be geo-specific, but it won't be relevant to lawyers. That's the issue, right? So as far as building geo-relevance and building a stronger Google Maps listing that's attached to a website, 100%. Yes, you will do very, very well with that. Now, where I do like to do this is if you have a website, okay? And your website, let's say you're doing pest control. And you're doing pest control only in Austin. And you have a maps listing. 1, 2, 3. This is where you can utilize that to encompass as much geo-relevance as possible. But in this case, what I would do is I would build out separate pages, okay, that in order to encompass those keywords. When I build out my, again, let's just say we're doing pest control. When I build out my pest control page, pest control Austin will say, okay? When I build out my pest control Austin page, I'm not going to include museums, bus stops, ice cream shops, and any other type of relevant place to Austin. Not inside of the body copy, but if I have a sidebar or I'm internally linking to blog articles about the top 10 places in Austin, or 10 sites to see in Austin, or the 5 best ice cream shops, support your local businesses in Austin, I would do that to make geo-relevance for Austin, but never, ever, ever getting off the primary keyword, okay? This I would do. But now if I'm working for a law firm and we're talking about multiple cities and multiple states, I would never, ever, ever do that, okay? So hopefully that helps you. Thank you, Chris. My pleasure. If you're a single location service biz with clients coming to you from multiple cities in New York and New Jersey, should you still do geo pages? You're a single location service business with clients coming from multiple cities. So the answer is yes. So let's just take this for instance. Let's say that you are doing, let's say you're a car accident lawyer, okay? Let's say that you are tristatellaw.com, okay? And you're a one service, and let's say you do car accidents, okay? So when I have my main bar here, I would do car, and then what I would do is I would make my New York and my New Jersey pages. So I would have tristatellaw.com / what I would do is car accident law. And then I would have my New York. And then I would do the same here, car and J. And these would be the silos. I would still, even though I'm only one service, I would still make the specific area. Okay? Definitely, definitely, definitely. Unless you don't care about encompassing both of these, right? Because with this, now you have a lot of options. Like, we're still putting the most prominence on the primary keyword, which is very important, or the primary topic, however you want to look at it. But now we have the option. New York is a special place because there's a ton of density within the boroughs. Plus, there's still, dude, there's tons. Like, dude, New York, largest cities. New York is a special place. Okay? Like, because you have an option here. For New York, you could go New York City, and then you could start doing Manhattan. You could do Bronx, Brooklyn, Harlem, right? Like, you could start breaking down these under the New York City, but New York City is 8 million people. I love New York City. One of my favorite places. So many people in such a small area. Oh, it's so delicious. All right, hopefully that answers your question. All right, so if there's no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. I actually have some work that I have to do. Jeez Louise, Chase. Oh, Chase sent me 9 million emails. Thank you, Chase. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 emails, bro. Wow. Wow. That is a lot. My goodness. All right, it doesn't look like there's any other questions. What to do when there's 10 services? Okay. Excellent question, Ivan. All right, Ivan. 10 services. All right. We have 10 services. So let's picture, can you see this? Yes. Pretend this is a web page. All right? Info, about, contact, right? Services. You can even write locations if you really wanted to, but it doesn't really matter, okay? Let's just stick on the 10 services, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 services listed, okay? Service 1, service 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, here's our main navigation. Now here's our footer. All right, so down here you probably have your address little bar here, address, and email, contact, services, right? And you probably have them listed here, right, like this. These are these 10 right down here. Right here through probably your email. Oh, you can't see it. It's there, I assure you. It's right here. Here, I'll make it right here. Right? So here you probably have your email and address, right? Then you have your contact. And then here's where you write your 10 services. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you probably have your brand name right here, right? Right? this is your web page. Header, footer, 10 services. So what's that look like, Chris? Well, let's discuss that. So remember, we have 10 services. All right. Here's our main menu. Service. Here's our 10. Okay. I click on it, and your name's Ivan. So we have ivan.com/service 1. Right? ivan.com/service 2. Okay? On these pages, we're going to gear this around the primary keyword. All right, Ivan? No matter what, the drop-down is going to list the 10 services. When I click on it, it's going to go to ivan.com/primary service, primary keyword. When I'm on this page, you can make a decision. Do we want to hit multiple states? Do we want to hit multiple cities? Or are we going national and that's it? If you just want to go national and that's it, and you just want to make this a killer page, it's not what I recommend, but you can do that. What I like to do is I like to target this as national no matter what, and then start building out state, and then build out city. That's what I like to do. And then each level, no matter what, I like to build out informational content for each level. All right? But you asked about 10 services. No matter what, when I'm on this service page, I'm still going to build out my page based on primary keyword. So I'm going to have the head, the title, the body, and then I'm going to have my main internal links pointing to my other pages. Does that make sense to you, Ivan? It doesn't matter how many services. I assure you, though, because I run across this a lot, you're going to need to make a decision, right? Because something I don't like to do, and I run across this a lot in the law space, right, is we'll do this, right? Right? Like, let's take this example right here. Here's what I don't like. Putting secondary services under a primary when they deserve their own top-level page. You need to make a decision. Are we targeting this keyword or not? Because I run across this a lot. Let's say we have a law firm, law.com, okay? And they want to target car accident lawyer, okay? And then what they do is they'll do Uber accident lawyer, all right? They're putting what they would call a secondary underneath car accident in the same silo. Now, where would I start building out my location-based service pages or my information pages? Because we're going to have cross-contamination or whatever you want to call it here. Yes, it fits under this category, but this page, or if you have a secondary service, you need to make the decision. Do I want to target this keyword or this practice area or this service or not? If this is on the website or this is something that you do, then it needs to be considered a top-level page, a TLP. You have to make it its own page. Do not put secondary services under primary categories because it's going to mess up your internal linking and your siloing and your topical authority for the primary keyword. It'll mess it up every single step of the way because then what are you going to start doing? Because if I have, here's what happens. Because if I have law.com, car, Uber. Now, what am I going to do? I start building out car, right? And then I build out my state. And then I build out my city. And then I build out this. I have car, Uber, state, city. What is all of these pages going to be internally linked in my sidebar or in my body content because it's hyper relevant to car? Well, you would do that, but now I'm diluting my car pages and my car state pages and my car city pages. This is massively inefficient. I just ran across this in my own life, and I dislike it immensely. And then generally, when you're talking to a client, the number one rebuttal from a client is, well, the top performer is doing it, right? But the top performer has probably been there for 5 years. And the top performer has had those pages forever. And just because the top performer doesn't know what they're doing doesn't mean that we need to follow suit. So I highly recommend, Ivan, if you're going to build up, you truly have 10 services. I just love drawing on this board. If you actually have 10 services, make them top level pages. That's my best advice to you, brother. It's blurry better now. There's 3 branches though, 3 locations. Yeah, 10 services, 3 locations. It's very, very easy. It's simple, Ivan. Are your 3 branches in the same state? Hey, Yasua Kumar, how are you, brother? Good to see you. Are the 3 branches in the same state? Are they? I'm assuming that they are. You have 3 branches in the same state. Not a problem, Ivan. So we have ivan.com. Okay? So we have ivan.com/service1. Okay? Branch 1. Service 1. Branch 2. Does that make sense to you? You would have branch 1, branch 2, branch 3. Okay? And then that's just service 1. Then you would have your next level. On this page here, on your top level service page, on this top level service page, here's what I want you to note. Okay? This is where it won't be tricky. You have your page. You and I both know we have 10 services, but we only have 3 branches, right? What I like to do is in this main header here, in the drop down, you're going to list out your 10 services, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You might even list out your 1, 2, 3 branches, right? No matter what though, if I click on this, I can still set what the URL parameters are, correct? Of course. Now, when I'm talking about this, when I'm on this actual page, if I click on this page right here, right? I'm on ivan.com/service1. What I'm going to have here is going to be, this is the sidebar, branch 1, branch 2, branch 3, okay? I can link out to my service 1 branch 1 page, service 1 branch 2 page, service 1 branch 3 page. Why? Because these pages here, my branch pages, are hyper specific to my top level service, okay? Because this is /branch 1. Or it could be branch 2, branch 3, whatever you want. Or location 1, location 2, location 3. Does this make sense, my friend? I hope that it does. Yes, same country. Yeah, that's 30 different pages. That's right. That's right. Exactly. And it's a lot of work. The work that your competition is not willing to do, but you are. It's a lot of work to make 30 individual pages. It's a lot of work to have 200 to 500 words up towards the top of the page unique to the actual area. It's unique. It's hard work to make unique headers. It's hard work to have unique images and a unique video. But it's really nice, and it's hard work to start taking all them calls you're gonna get. Ivan, I love you, man. Blessings to you. All right. Are we all good here, guys? I'm on way longer than I should have been, but it's all good. I love you guys, man. I'm glad I have somebody to help. It makes my day, all right? It makes my day to be able to help you, all right? So if there's anything that I can help you with ever, if I can help you in your business and it has to do with SEO, this is what I do. It's what I'm good at, okay? I'd be happy to help. If you have a question, ask in the section below. If you need help with your website, go to chrispalmermarketing.com. If you just want to learn more and have private time, but it not cost you, an hourly rate, go to SEOmastermind.org. We meet every single Thursday from 11 to 5. Join the mastermind. I have testing. I have personal groups. I have trainings, whatever you want. If you need more one-on-one, go to Calendly/Chris Palmer Marketing. If you just want a done-for-you solution, go to Chris Palmer Marketing. So I can help you at every step of the way. Done with you or done for you, it doesn't matter. Maps and local is what we do. Lead generation, that's where I can help. If you're doing e-com or affiliate, I know a lot. I'm very effective, but that type of stuff, I'm more effective at local, lead gen, and maps. Okay? The goal is not to rank the geo pages, right? Only the top ranking service page. Robert, no. The goal is if we have site.com/service, and then we have state and then service, we want to rank every single one of these pages. We're not putting a page up on our site unless we want it to actually rank. Yeah, no. I hope I haven't portrayed or given the wrong impression here. If we're creating a page, an asset for the website owner, the objective here for service pages, top-level service or location-based service pages, is we want to win customers with these pages. That is the objective. All right? Now, when we're building informational content, like let's say we're on the service and we want to start building out info, okay? The objective of this page is to build in referring domains. We want to increase internal links and increase referring domains to the supporting pages in order to power state and primary service, right? Our objective with the informational content is not necessarily to rank those. It'll be cool. We want them to get traffic and we want them to show up in search results, but we don't necessarily want them competing with our primary service or state pages, okay? Yeah, the informational pages are there to support the main idea and build depth of concept and build out expertise within the particular service areas. However, the goal of having those informational queries, again, is to have depth and build in referring domains and increase the amount of internal links pointing to the pages that we want to rank. That's the goal. All right? I'm looking for a method to rank Google Business Profile for multiple keywords. Topic, do you have any suggestions? All right. So, I'm going to give you a very clear understanding of GBP. All right? This is the site, okay? This is the GBP. On the GBP, all right, categories on point. Service matches category. 3, products list services. 4, description lists services. 5, reviews list location plus services. Okay? 6, traffic to listing is for service from locations. Okay? The GBP primary category is on topic with the primary winners. The service is going to be the primary category. We don't dilute the service section. Products is going to be a list of the primary services that are listed on the website. Description is going to talk about the location and the primary services that we provide. 5, the reviews contain the primary services and the locations that we do them in. And number 6, the traffic that we generate is for primary services in the locations that we provide. The website is going to back up what the GBP is saying. On the website, what are we going to have? We're going to have a list of the services. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our products that are on the GBP are linking to the primary service pages. When we look down the list, it matches the category and the services that we actually provide. The services that are being listed here, we're getting reviews based on the keywords that are listed inside of our services. The traffic is coming in for the keywords for the services that we provide. The reviews that we're getting are containing the keywords for the locations and the services that we provide. That is how you rank your GBP, right? If you optimize the profile around the primary services in the locations that you actually provide them in, actually list that stuff, those particular details, and I get enough traffic and enough reviews over a long enough period of time, and all of that information is backed up on the website, if you give it a long enough time, not a month, not 2 months, not 3 months, not 4 months, if you do that consistently like a real brand over the course of 6 months to 12 months, you will be in the map pack. Like the probability of you being a truck accident lawyer or a car accident lawyer or a DUI lawyer and thinking that you're going to build reviews and build traffic and rank in the 3-pack, there's only 3 spots. Some of those businesses have been consistent for longer than 2 years. The probability of you just running and gunning and jumping in there is highly unlikely. You might catch some variations of secondary services that you provide, but primary services in high competition areas, it takes a long time. It takes months to get in there. You might get lucky, but I assure you, if you're doing law firms, chiropractors, truck accident, DUI attorneys in LA, in Austin, in Dallas, in Orlando, in Miami, doing it in Philadelphia, any city with 500,000 people or more, it's going to take you months. It's going to take you months. I assure you. But yeah, patience and what I just mentioned here. The big one being back up your actual services on the website, and then the reviews and the traffic is being generated from the actual users. That's how you finalize it. If you do that consistently enough, you will be a winner. There's no question. Hi, Hayes. All right. Thank you for your knowledge, bro. My pleasure. And it's been an absolute pleasure. I have to run. I have to go right now, but I truly appreciate the time that we spent together today. Thank you for your time. Again, please, if you can make it out August the 22nd through the 24th, I would love to see you at digitalunfiltered.com. We're going to be in Las Vegas August 22nd through the 24th. Myself, Craig Campbell, Ryan Stewart, Ruan Moreno, Ted Kabitis, Ian Ovens, Garrett Acott, lots of us. Visit digitalunfiltered.com. You could get tickets. You could see who's going to be there. You could see what we're going to talk about. Also, if you need 4G proxies, check out proxypixie.com for 4G rotating proxies for any and all of your proxy needs. I hate pitching. I'm sorry, but I have to mention this. All right. So thank you so much for your time. Do you have a schedule for the live streams? No. It's whenever I get asked a question or I feel good, I do them. I generally don't do live streams. It's not for me. I've been very busy lately, but I got this question. I really wanted to do it. I haven't been on in a while, but there's no set schedule. It's whenever I feel like it. All right. So I appreciate your time, my friend, but I try to produce, no matter what, at least 3 videos per week. I will be re-cranking back up the productivity, but I noticed that I could produce videos every day, right? I used to do that. But what I noticed is, people get sick of you. So what I did is I turned it back just a little bit, and it seems to be getting a lot better response from the people that like to learn with me. So that's what it is. Can you share the website for the proxies? proxypixie.com. Yep. But thank you so much. Thank you for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Many blessings, and goodbye.